House Subcommittee on the Weaponization of the Federal Government is accusing an agency within the Department of Homeland Security of surveilling and censoring online speech and then trying to cover it up. The committee obtained non-public documents from the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, and they reveal that the agency considered creating an anti-misinformation rapid response team. And they actually moved their censorship operation to an agency-funded non-government organization. The committee also finding members were concerned that it was only a matter of time until they were caught and scrubbed their websites of any reference of domestic surveillance and censorship activities.
My name is Joe Biden. I love ice cream.
Age verification. Yep, we are discussing this again. Online safety bills, age verification, however you want to call it. We already had a video about the ESRB, the video game that they want to impose age verification rules by using facial tech recognition programming, which is all bullshit, which is the stuff that China does. That, you know, in China, this is what they do. They limit you on how much you can use the internet per day, how much gaming you can do. I mean, you might say to yourself, well, if the kids, you know, we limited the game. No. Yes, you want to limit your children, you want them to educate themselves, but not to the cost of your constitutional rights. And we've already heard these situations, and it's been laughed out. The tech industry has already warned of the situation.
So no, you shouldn't be submitting your government ID online to a database where it probably will be leaked. That's number one. And someday. I'm not saying the solution is to have websites maintain this, because that's even worse. No. You don't want every random, I'm going to send my ID to every like random pornography site. Sure, because the porn industry has a really great reputation for, you know, only engaging in business in the most up and up way. So sure, that sounds like a great idea. But regardless of where I'm sending it, that is an awful, awful idea. And they are right that this actually does make internet users largely less safe.
The Freedom of Speech Coalition has warned these situations. China is the perfect example of what can happen when you put in age verification, online safety bills. This is just literally to take away your rights. They want to take over everything. They want to take over where you live, where you eat, what you eat, what you watch on the internet or on television, what is your, you know, how you're being educated. This is all the situations that we've discussed before. And we've said this on a constant basis. And now you're hearing that, and we knew this was happening. We knew this was going to come from the president. We knew that the president is pushing this. This is not only a Republican, it's not only a Democrat. This is coming from the elites. It's the control they want. Look at what has happened just in the last couple of days, and you have to ask yourself, how much longer do we have to endure this White House? How much more do we have to do with some of these politicians? Because we're getting to the point where our First Amendment rights, our Second, Third, Fourth, Fifth, all of them across the board are being challenged in one way or another. Look at some of the bills that are being pushed across the United States alone.
So remember why they need us.
Well, like I said, age verification rules, online safety bills, this is a issue. And I've said this many times. If you're there to protect the children, if you're there to protect the children.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
Why are you banning movies like Sound of Freedom? Why are you banning people from talking about children coming across the border illegally without their parents and being enslaved in the United States and other countries? Yes, that does happen here. We've seen articles where there are factories here in the US and they're using children. There are laws in every one of these states, and they're trying to take those laws down. We've discussed this on other various videos, and you can look those up, when you have a moment. And you've seen the pictures. I mean, the thing about it is, they point that all the child issues is because of pornography. That is pornography. And then you keep pushing onto that. Child pornography is an issue. The main sites that are out there, like Pornhub and the X videos and the rest, are not the ones that are truly involved, as far as we know. If they are, they need to go. But understand, most of these big studios do not want this headache, especially now with the way the internet goes. One thing goes out and then you're blasted. Hey, Bud Light learned it the hard way. So today we have an article from XBiz, and it talks about the Biden wants to push lawmakers to push out these online safety bills. And we're going to read a little bit into it. This is out of XBiz. President Joe Biden on Tuesday urged lawmakers, this was last Tuesday, to pass controversial online safety bills, COSA and COPA, currently making their way through the Senate. Politico's Rebecca Kern describes Biden as repetitively chanting the words pass it after referencing the legislation during a public appearance about expanding access to mental health care. And they're not going to do nothing about mental health care. That's the thing about it is they don't care. They want people to be crazy out there. That's basically what's giving them the power. We're taking steps to address the harm that social media is doing to our kids. No, you're not. Biden said we've got to hold these platforms accountable for the national experiment they're conducting on our children for profit. Then why you don't shut down TikTok? No, you're not. I wouldn't be surprised if you're getting a little bit money from TikTok or Tencent. Wouldn't be surprised. Later this week, senators will debate legislation to protect kids' privacy online, which I've been calling for 2 years. Biden added, pass it already, it matters, pass it, pass it, pass it, pass it. Biden was referring to the Senate committee vote on the Kids Online Safety Act, COSA, and the Children and Teens Online Privacy Protection Act. This is the second time these bills have gone through the Senate after passing out of committee last year over the objections of many leading digital rights and privacy organizations and advocates. Start listening to them. They know what they're talking about. The details of Thursday's meeting, a markup in congressional parlance, are still being negotiated among lawmakers with the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, according to the news analyst site Axios. Content platforms like Netflix and Disney are lobbying to be treated differently under the bills that predominantly user-generated content platforms like YouTube or Pornhub. There are also concerns about the amount of regulatory power the bill would grant to the Federal Trade Commission. As XBiz reported, starting with last year's introduction of the COSA digital rights, advocates have been sounding the alarm about privacy and censorship concerns. The bill has had bipartisan support from Senators Richard Blumenthal, who needs to be retired, and Marsha Blackburn, also needs to go as well, selling it to their colleagues as Protect the Children measure. This is not protecting any child. understand this. They keep saying, what are we going to do? We have to protect the children. You're not protecting the children. You're not. Not at all. You know, you don't even protect them on the streets. So how are you going to protect them on the internet? By blocking everyone's access to it, that they have to put in their ID, their social security number, facial recognition, and where would all that go? It's like the SRB said in the other video, oh no, we are not going to keep that. Well, you know, guess what? TikTok said the same thing. They said, we don't keep those things. It doesn't go to China or anything like that. And we found out it does. In a scathing March 2022 editorial, however, Jason Keeley of the leading digital rights organization Electric Frontier Foundation argued that behind its kid-friendly name and supposed mission, COSA hides a plan to require surveillance and censorship of anyone 16 and under. The bill, Keeley noted, would actually greatly endanger the rights and safety of young people online, while also the chilling controversial speech, including sexual expression across the internet. Now, see, the thing about it is here, if you listen to some of these politicians and they say the children, what age do you think they're talking about? Children from a very young age up to age 18 or 19. They're including 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds. You know, 18 and 19-year-olds considered children? No, they are adults. If you see every report that's put out where they said, well, we have this amount of shootings of children, this amount on that, 18 and 19 if you remove the 18 and 19-year-olds, the numbers go lower. And this has been happening for quite some time now. See, this is the politics that they use, the propaganda that's been going on for quite some time now. Saying that Netflix and Disney wants to be treated differently. But see, YouTube plays movies. Pornhub plays movies. Now, yeah, Pornhub has porn films. Yes, that's correct. But they play movies. And if you look carefully in Netflix, you might find a couple here and there that will be considered NR. You can find them. It's easy to find. And same thing on YouTube as well. They're going to tell you that children are on day in, day out as far as the pornography.
What? Why are you cutting to me? What did somebody say? Whatever they said I do, I don't do.
That they're on these sites and stuff like that. When actually, which sites are they really on? Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch on more of occasion too, as well. And if you look into it and see that most of the information that they get about pornography comes from these sites. The OnlyFans, they're connected into these sites. You know, because they advertise their stuff on there. I mean, it's not complete because they redirect you to OnlyFans. But there has been sex, there's been nudity, you know. You can go on all these sites. Twitter, you can find it all the time. Facebook, you can find it all the time. Instagram, you can find it on TikTok, you can find it all the time. But yet, there isn't a major push. Even though some places, some countries will try to shut down things like Facebook and Twitter in their countries, but they haven't gone across. Why is that? You have to think about that for a moment. Why the bigger push toward Pornhub, Xvideos, and those sites when the actual porn trafficking comes from standard social media sites? Think about that for a minute. And as far as age verification, whether it's facial, whether it's identification, don't let them take your information, because what was the name of that place, that company?
Ashley Madison is a site devoted to, maybe let's call it the wandering eye. Anyone who potentially is thinking about having an affair can go on the site, sign up, and find someone else who's interested. A month ago, hackers threatened to release lots of personal information. They said they were able to breach the servers, they were able to hack and get very valuable, sensitive user data.
Do you remember that in 2015? That's Ashley Madison. Yes, that's right. There was a major data breach by hackers. And guess what? They released all that information. They threatened Ashley Madison to shut down, but they still released the information out to the dark web and to the general public. And, you know, don't think that this cannot happen again on another site. On a site that basically is storing information for when you age verify yourself on all these websites. You're putting yourself in mortal danger of having your information ripped off. And Washington's okay with that. This administration's okay with that. Some of the Republicans in office there are okay with that. Some of the Democrats are okay with that as well. See, and the other half of this is, from a religious point of view, and I'm a Catholic, is that the Catholics and the Mormons have been overstepping their moments in government. Remember, it's separation with church and state. If you're inflicting the church into, like in Utah, you're no longer a republic. You're no longer, the democracy is over at that point. It says we have to have a separation of church and state. You can have your beliefs. You can believe, you try to inform to the situation. If you believe in a bill that's going to assist into the situation. Overstepping and trying to push your values on everyone in this country, that is the wrong thing to do. You want to believe your religion, that is fine. In this country, you're allowed to. In other countries, you're not. Go to Africa and see if they like Catholics. You might end up either enslaved or dead, because there are many places in Africa that Christians are not welcome. And it's the same thing in the Mideast and many other places. So take this moment, contact your lawmaker, let them know, we don't want this online safety bill. We want to leave the protection of children to their families themselves. The push for the nuclear family back again. Because that's what's happening. You're tearing apart the nuclear family. Without the nuclear family, there's no order within the family. You have to understand that. People say, well, I don't need a man, I don't need a woman. It's total bullshit. And it has nothing to do with being gay. We thrived with the family for many decades. Only within the last 15, 20 years, we have faltered, and you've seen what has happened. Crime rates are up as fatherless children are being born on a constant basis. You have children out there that basically are not learning what it is to be an adult by their family members, to learn what is right and wrong. That is what's the important thing, is that you need your family, you need to learn from your parents. Because they will tell you, and I said like the ESRB, the video game one, if the parents bought the video game that was mature, why do I need to age verify? If I bought it for him, I've given my approval. See, these are the things that you have to keep thinking in your mind. We do have a mental health problem in this country. They're not going to solve it this way. We hope that there is a massive change in the next election. Know who you are voting for in the next election. Take that moment. Listen to what they're saying and educate yourself via your local library and through the internet, and know all the bills that are coming through. Know all the people that are pushing these bills and why. So comment below, let me know your thoughts, because I do want to hear from you. And again, and I keep pushing this, this, even though they're saying this is a porn issue, this is not a porn issue. This is a constitutional issue when it comes to this. And this needs to be resolved immediately. So, once again, comment, share this video, hit the like, notification bell, and hopefully today's the day I've earned your subscription. So until next time, thank you for tuning in, and bye-bye now.